Hatchet.
No, you can't do it as well, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense. Right, we are discussing cars that have come out in February, because I made a little video recently and said that...
Which we don't have a clue about.
You don't? Yeah, you would have seen
Oh,
it.
well, no, but we don't
no,
know they're coming out in February.
you just don't watch anything that I
No,
post.
I've already turned off.
Yeah. I said there's no new cars coming, and all of a sudden there's loads of new cars coming.
Okay.
But are we going to sell any of these cars? And can you notice anything about them? So there's a final edition basically of the RS6, the GT, limited edition. It's pretty cool.
Same car, but Larry paintwork.
Larry paintwork.
Full petroleum.
Full petroleum, big V8, 600 and whatever horsepower.
Right.
180 grand though.
Kit now.
For
Can
an
I say that?
Yeah, you can. For an RS6 is pretty
Are
heavy.
you going to put an 18 certificate on this video?
Peggy 18.
180,000 quid.
Yeah, but they're only making 600, and that might be because
Is that because they've
probably
seen
can't
the
sell
Range Rovers
600.
and the SVs have gone, let's
Yeah.
charge ridiculous money.
I reckon that is exactly what they've done. Yeah.
You might want to beat that out.
So there's that. There's the new Taycan. Are we ever selling a Taycan ever again? A new one?
I think the new Taycan has got a real problem, hasn't it? I don't know. Just
Yeah.
How much
it's
is
going to
that,
be
what?
a year down the line before they'll.
Well,
before
I
anything goes
spec'd
on.
one up to how I would like it, and I didn't go mental, and it was 200 grand.
The world's gone fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I'd say is I think eventually we're all going to be forced into these electric cars, and they're going to become the norm. Everyone's going to want one.
Yeah.
The Taycan, the current car, very pretty, very good car. It's quick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ, you ever seen a car lose so much money?
Yeah. It's frightening.
Scary. So I think that would scare 95% of people off.
I think I saw an Auto Trader today, one at 45 grand.
But what a car for 45
Yeah,
grand.
yeah, yeah.
But that's all electric cars. That's
Yeah,
all
they
electric.
do.
All
Yeah.
electric cars, and that's and until one comes out that doesn't lose that amount of money, then you're not going to. Then they're going to be battled with the same problem where somebody's going to get it as a company car, where
Yes.
it doesn't matter the depreciation. It doesn't really matter. They've
Yep.
got it for 2 years.
Yep.
They get zero benefit. They get benefit in kind, 0%, and all that stuff. So that you still have
Effectively,
that-
they get a
effectively
free-ish car,
Yeah.
and then the person buying it second-hand doesn't get any benefits, and they go, well, this car lost 50 grand in 2 years. I'm not
going to
doing
buy
that.
it. Yeah.
The
So it
answer
answers
to
your
your
question.
The answer to the
knows?
question, people that can afford to write it off against their business and don't really care, fine.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
think
even
we-
about it just doesn't care because there's still a benefit to it as a new purchaser with the tax benefits, isn't there?
Yeah.
Does that outweigh the depreciation?
If you have it on a PCP or on a lease or anything like that, then
Do you get the
Will it?
same tax breaks if you do that? I don't know.
yeah.
You
But
don't.
the
I think
person
so.
who's taking it as a company car will get it as a lease car. You know, so it goes back. It's the lease company that's going to take the hit, and I imagine the payments are based on the fact that they know how much
Oh, do you know
depreciation the first car's done.
Yes,
Whereas the
that's
last
the
one you could have
problem.
got for 800 quid,
can't
you're now
wait
going to be paying
to see
1,500 for one of
Yeah.
these.
What Porsche will do on their PCP values.
Because they're going to have to put a
They
big
must be
balloon on
losing
it.
money hand over fist
Yeah,
for
yeah,
cars
yeah.
that are going back now.
Yeah, they have to
Can't-
be.
You know, if they were 140, 150 grand, right?
Yeah.
The
Well,
car-
for a Turbo
So
S,
if they were
yeah.
putting 75 grand guaranteed future values on that car after 4 years and they're worth 40,
They're going to lose.
people are handing them back
Yeah.
and they're 35 grand down on every single car.
Painful. There's a new moving slightly on. There's a similar but more practical car, perhaps BMW i5 Touring. We're not going to sell one, but the 5 Series has gone electric.
Probably a very good car.
Probably a very good car. We'll never sell one in here.
We don't know.
No one's.
Market shifts.
I
Doesn't it?
saw last
I hope we
night-
do. I hope we do.
Oh, you
I
didn't
like stuff like
mention,
that.
I saw something on the Instagram which looked really cool. Another i product, I think, an
Yeah.
X1 i35 that looked
Oh,
really
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah.
Big black
Big,
mouth,
yeah.
really cool looking car.
I like them.
I like a BMW, but again, they lose loads of money, especially if it's
Is that 'cause the
an
electric-
M
Good, I've
product.
just bought one.
does. Yeah. Speaking of which, another one. This is what I would want if I was had a large budget. An Alpina B5 Touring, which you're not going to know what it is. I'll just
I
skim
know
across
what
that.
it is, Mark.
625 horsepower,
That's
200 mile an
disrespectful
hour,
of you to
mega
think that I
estate.
don't know what an Alpina B5
I've not
is.
seen an Alpine since 1996.
Yeah, I like them for that reason.
90s.
Audi are bringing out an RS5 estate, right? So
That's going to replace the RS6.
it's going to replace the RS6 because
Yeah, we'll sell that car.
yeah. Will we sell the new RS6 when it comes through fully electric?
Probably.
Probably. It's an iconic car. It's weird that they've done that.
I don't think electric cars can carry on hemorrhaging money like they have been in the current last 5 years.
No.
It can't carry. And what you said the other day was very true. And
Yeah.
he did say this, that when you get an electric car now,
Yeah,
it's very similar to changing your iPhone 13
yeah,
for an iPhone 15. The technology jump,
yeah.
which to be honest isn't a lot nowadays.
Well, not on an iPhone,
But
but
on
yeah.
cars in the electric world is quite significant, isn't it?
We're in phase 1 really, and then as soon as phase 2 comes along, everything in phase 1 is obsolete,
And yeah.
and phase 2 will only be 2 years away. So, and
So we're
that's,
still in phase 1, even on this new stuff.
yeah. It's just all this stuff is tweaked. Phase
Slightly
1
improved.
stuff. Yeah,
I feel
slightly.
like I'm phase 1.
Yeah. But like the new stuff, so the new batteries when they come through, I think 2028 is earmarked for when solid state batteries are coming. When that happens, cars are going to get a lot lighter, a lot more range. The batteries are a lot smaller,
Yeah.
so they'll be faster to charge. Blah blah blah, all the rest of it. And then all of a sudden, people go, "Oh, that works."
Mm.
But are people going to be too scared of them by that point because they would have seen the horror shows that have happened in this first lot?
Yeah, I don't think that could last, Mark.
No.
I think we're in this pool at the moment of still having petrol, diesel, and electric. Eventually, it's all going to be hybrid or electric, is it not?
There's no choice really. It's going to happen eventually.
But you just form your opinions on
What's
happened-
going on
what's
now,
happened
yeah.
before,
Yeah.
don't you?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
all think Arsenal are going to bottle it this year because that's what they've done for the last 2 years. But you can only form your
You can
opinion on
only- yeah.
previous performance.
Yeah.
Oh, Rammers will be watching.
That's life, isn't it? And
Yeah.
you until an electric car doesn't do its balls, its nuts,
Yeah.
its whatever, then
Yeah.
you're just going to think they all do the same.
Non-electric chat. There's a new Aston Martin Vantage.
Looks nice.
It looks
I
lovely.
like that car,
It's a
Mark.
very lovely looking car. They've finally given it a nice interior.
Fuck me.
They
Hallelujah.
really needed to
yeah.
do that.
It was so bad, wasn't
Yeah.
it? The interior on the DBX even was like,
Well, all Astons with terrible interior. Now you've got the DB12 and the Vantage, which is kind of the same interior. Which
it looks great.
it looks great. It's sort of a bit. It's quite
Panamera,
Porsche.
it's Porsche.
Yeah.
Doesn't your mate Lance Stroll's dad own?
My mate Lance, yeah,
Yeah.
he does, yeah, yeah.
So he's done well with the interior. What's his dad called?
Lawrence.
Lawrence, well done.
Yeah.
And is it because it's still shared with Mercedes? Is it? Is it sharing the Mercedes?
don't
I think he's
think
bought
That's
a
what
lot.
they
really-
were
He's
doing, wasn't
bought
they?
a
They
lot.
were
was-
sharing the
yeah.
Mercedes.
I think he bought it for like 250 million, something like that. The brand.
It wasn't a lot, was it? But it was on its knees when he bought
But
it.
if the biggest problem with Aston Martin, predominantly since we've been here 20 years, is the interiors. I remember
Yeah,
the old
terrible.
DB9s used to get in and hit the D button, your finger would go through
through.
the dash.
Yeah.
You know,
Rubbish.
and they've slowly got better now. Hopefully, it'll be sorted.
We're borrowing a DB12 soon,
We are.
so that'll be nice to do a video on that. And fine, that's not hybrid or anything. That they've stuck with a V8.
Good for
They've just
them.
gone petrol. Yeah, that's what we want to do.
Good for them.
So
Like
don't
it.
you
fair
have
enough.
to meet a certain thing across your range, isn't it? Rules
Yeah.
that you've got to have, or can they spread their wings to other cars?
I think it's different if you are a low volume manufacturer,
You
which
don't-
they might
okay.
claim to be. I don't know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
numbers you
yeah.
need for that. You don't have to apply to the same rules.
Okay.
And then finally, because
Yeah.
it came out yesterday,
Mhm.
little Renault 5.
Like it.
I like it.
We like that, didn't we?
I think that's a cool
Throwing
little
back to
car.
Bit
1992
GT
again.
turbo, radio
Yeah,
style.
it's cool.
Great car for around town.
That's a
in the
little
city,
electric
fully
car. 250-ish miles.
How much is it?
Probably 200. 25 grand.
Really?
Yeah, 25 grand. Starting price.
So
But-
35 done.
Yeah.
15 in 6
Perfect
months.
little city
Will
car.
we
Yeah.
sell any?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, we won't. But it's a cool.
You'd have one.
I'd have one.
I'll have one.
It reminds me of my little i3 that I had.
So you sort of
Little
i3 drivers
sort
have one of
of
them.
nippy round town.
If it becomes cool again, or a bit of a statement.
And the people who used to lust after GT turbos.
Yeah,
They all
because you
have
wouldn't
one.
actually want to drive a GT Turbo
Will it
now.
have manufactured noise?
I don't know if that
Are
one.
any of them
has.
going to have manufactured
Well,
noise?
yeah, like the Taycan does, doesn't it? That goes.
Yeah, but I want to do like that film.
You want
that-
an engine?
I want an engine noise. What was that film years ago?
Back to the Future.
No, it wasn't. It was where they did the guy from King of Queens.
Oh,
And
David,
they
Daniel, James.
Daniel
the guy,
Day-Lewis.
the guy from King of Queens, and they were creating an American V8 muscle car sound to go on electric vehicles.
Do you remember when Cliff bought that awful Audi Q8
Yeah.
and it had a stupid sound box to disguise
Yeah.
the diesel engine?
Same
They
thing.
could just do that.
Same thing, yeah.
It sounds awful. It sounds terrible.
amazing.
Don't do that.
I don't think we know what we're going to be selling, but we'll obviously be selling them. So
Well, so that's what I meant to say. If you've noticed anything in here, and I haven't picked these because of that, it's just something I noticed. A lot of these cars are estate cars. I didn't mention one big SUV. Is that market slowly changing? Are people nothing? There's no big SUVs coming out that are new, but there's a lot of estate cars that are coming out that are new. A lot of city cars, a lot of hatchbacks, even sports cars.
Hence, we're having to lean towards doing American SUVs because
Yeah.
they're not
They're the
willing to
only
give that up.
ones.
They're not willing to
Yeah,
give that
yeah,
up. So Escalade, Hummer,
Yeah.
that was sold this week. And
Are the manufacturers thinking we can't make the big SUVs electric because they use too much
rules and
power?
regs. Yeah.
what I want to know is what the UK government doing about the country,
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
because they can bring out all these wonderful electric cars, but if they can't be driven around the country, one because of the state of the roads,
infrastructure. You mean?
one because of the charges that don't work in service stations, and there's people
Yeah.
queuing for them. Why would anyone want to go buy an electric car?
Well, yeah, and
Don't defend them.
it's true. The only people that got it right at Tesla, like in the network and the infrastructure,
own.
they
They
got
make
it
their own.
right
They need to
from
have
the
they
start.
need to have like 1,000 drones that float in the air over the
What,
motorways,
with power in them.
and then power. They come down and just power.
I think
Wireless
that-
Bit like the
charging
jets do.
ports at-
oh, in-flight refuel.
Yeah.
wireless charging ports at red lights and stuff. You've got to
But that's the thing.
That was
That is
gonna
the
happen,
thing.
wasn't it, that?
Yeah, they have that technology that they were going to put it all in car parks. So
Yeah,
if you
I-
park your car, it just charges it.
How do you monetise that? I
But-
suppose. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like everything, I suppose, isn't it? You just...
Tap it down.
Well, it's quite interesting,
Anyway.
Mark. All right, let's see what happens. See what we sell. We'll
We'll have a chat next
We'll
month.
follow the market
See
like we
what
always
comes
do.
out next month.
And we'll have the same.
Yeah.